Good, happy Thursday evening, April 16, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday evening, so let's get started. First up, all New Hampshire schools will continue remote learning for the rest of the school year, Governor says. Decision made to prevent spread of COVID-19. All public and private schools in New Hampshire will remain closed for the rest of the school year, and students will continue remote learning, the governor announced Thursday. Governor Chris Sununu said the decision was not easy, but he said it was necessary to prevent the transmission of COVID-19. Sununu said allowing students back in the classroom would increase the risk of asymptomatic transmission of the coronavirus, which students could bring home to their parents and grandparents. He said New Hampshire has implemented remote learning well, described the state as the golden standard in the country. But he noted there will be challenges, and the experiences of some students notable. High school seniors will be very different than previous classes. Sununu called for developing initiative ways to handle graduation and summer programs. All spring sports have also been canceled. The governor said schools should develop plans to help students in September who were unable to keep up with their studies in remote learning environments. He also acknowledged the stress that remote learning and social distancing in general has placed on Granite Staters. I couldn't be more proud of the citizens of this state, Sununu said. Education Commissioner Frank Edelblut urged teachers to keep students focused even though they won't be returning to school buildings this year. The governor said individual school districts will determine how to handle grades, calling on them to be as flexible as possible. New COVID-19 outbreaks identified at 3 long-term care facilities. 2 new deaths linked to coronavirus announced. As 2 more COVID-19 deaths were announced Thursday in New Hampshire, health officials said 3 new outbreaks have been identified in long-term care facilities in the state. Health Commissioner Lori Shipperton said the deaths of a man over 60 from Rockingham County and a woman over 60 from Hillsborough County were linked to COVID-19. There have been 34 deaths connected to the coronavirus in the state. Shipperton said health officials have identified 3 new COVID-19 outbreaks in long-term care facilities. 2 residents and 6 staff members at the Institute for Professional Practice in Concord tested positive, and 1 resident died. Shipperton said there have been no positive cases at the facilities in several days. At the residence at Salem Woods in Salem, 21 residents and 4 staff members were sickened, and at the ball fields in Dover, 5 residents and 5 staff members had confirmed cases. Shipperton said the state's mobile response clinic has been responding to long-term care facilities to conduct tests remotely. She said it will continue to do so as long as the state continues to get testing supplies from the federal government. There were 71 new cases of COVID-19 in New Hampshire announced Thursday, for an overall total of 1,211 cases since the pandemic began. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. And here is that COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. There are 1,211 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 648,788 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 34 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 178 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 30,920 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows you where the cases of COVID-19 are in cities and towns in New Hampshire. Manchester, 176 cases. This graph, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. Be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for all your latest of COVID-19 information. Initial jobless claims in New Hampshire dropped from prior week. Tens of thousands of new claims filed. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Now, Xfinity Mobile gives you more flexible data. You can choose to share data between lines, mix with unlimited, or switch it up at any time. All on the most reliable wireless network. Switch and save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. And ask how to get $200 off when you buy an eligible phone. Go to XfinityMobile.com today.
Instead of maneuvers in the field, these New Hampshire National Guard troops are fielding calls from people filing for unemployment or who have questions. But they are answering fewer calls than before. For the week ending April 11th, there were 23,936 initial claims. That compares to 39,202 for the week before, a decrease of 15,266.
This is a positive sign. We hope to be able to report again next week that we continue to see these drops.
Laver says this is part of a trend he has seen throughout the region. As to the reason behind it,
I think the leveling off reflects more folks that are able to stay employed through the loans that have been made available to those employers.
Still, he acknowledges that there is still a lot of frustration with people unable to get through or file their claim. He says a plan is in place to ease that frustration.
We're adding an additional 100 folks from the New Hampshire National Guard are going to be able to come in and help us be able to handle more of those calls.
Despite filing, some people still haven't been paid. Laver says they've processed about 70% of all claims, but understands that means little if you still haven't received any money. He vows the department will take care of any backlog by the end of the week.
So those folks that are still waiting for their check, waiting for their call to be answered, we will be doing better. We will be talking to them. They will be getting paid.
The deputy commissioner says they will be adding a third call center to help with that backlog and a fourth if necessary. In Concord, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green, went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green, went up. S&P 500 closed in the green, went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the red and went down. U.S. 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Stocks rise slightly, led by tech. Netflix hits record high. Stocks rose slightly on Thursday, led by tech, as Wall Street grappled with more concerns over the coronavirus outbreak and dismissal economic data. Tech got a lift as investors loaded up on stocks that benefit from more people staying home during the outbreak. Coronavirus updates. New York City extends shutdown to May 15th in coordination with other states, Como says. More than 2.1 million have been affected with the novel coronavirus worldwide as the pandemic continues to affect everyone's aspect of people's lives. The global death toll stands at more than 141,000 people, according to data compiled by the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. The actual numbers are believed to be much higher due to the number of deaths in which a person is not tested for the virus. Many municipalities have begun counting probable deaths caused by COVID-19, including New York City, the epicenter for the disease in the United States. The U.S. has more cases and deaths than any country in the world, with more than 653,000 diagnosed cases and at least 30,998 deaths. Today's biggest developments. New York extends a shutdown in coordination with Northeast states. UK will stay on lockdown for the next 3 weeks. Midwest governors form coalition to reopen their states. New Jersey governor outraged that bodies of the dead piled up at a nursing home in New Jersey. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your evening. Stay safe and stay healthy. And I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and bye, everyone.